Darren, unexpected and unfortunate game at the weekend was called off, so it's going to be 10 days since your last match. What have you been doing with that time?
Running. No, we have to some extent. I mean, no one was happy about the Tuesday game at Harrogate, so the natural thing is to attack the value of the individuals within. And sometimes, they need a size 9 up their backside, and they've had a size 9 up their backside. So whether it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you utilise all of your experiences and the tools that you have at your disposal to obviously provoke some better results. So that's really what we've been doing. We've looked at especially that 3-5-2 system that we've been playing. We've tried to work on that to make us better at that. It just gives us a different dimension to our play. A lot of the teams in our division seem to play that as well, which is quite interesting. And just utilise our time, but they've worked very, very hard. They've had to work very, very hard, and it's about time, quite rightly so.
Yeah, I was going to ask from a tactical point of view as well as a fitness point of view. We've seen the diamond midfield, we've seen the 3 at the back. Is this a good opportunity as well to try different techniques?
Well, I think you very rarely have I ever gone a whole season where I've been able to play one system, even in development football, even in the academy stuff or the reserves or whatever name you want to call it, is that you have to constantly keep people stimulated and invigorated. The really posh word for it now is tactical periodisation. We just really want to keep people, we want to keep the players where they've got something new to work with. We obviously want to make sure that we've got more than one way of playing, because form, availability, suspension, injury, all of those things kind of mean you have to adapt and adjust all the time. So listen, from a coaching point of view, it's good fun because you use new words, you look at people in different areas, different angles of their start points, their relationships, all those things. So it's been a strong, well, by Saturday it would have been a strong 10 days, but who really cares about the strong 10 days? Before the game, it's at 5 o'clock on a Saturday that you kind of review and reflect on the quality of your work, and that can be undone within 30 seconds of a game starting. So we just have to be ready, and we just have to keep working with our own standards, and the rest will come or won't come.
It's going to be a tough game this Saturday as well. Of course, Boreham Wood just below you in the league. Have you been surprised by them? They're probably, in terms of their resources and how they've performed this season, I think they're on a 14-game unbeaten run in the league.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised. Their resources are similar to ours. That's our market. I mean, they signed a player, they outbid us for a player that will be available to them Saturday. So I think I've not been surprised. I like the manager. I think he's a smashing guy in his team. They came here and thought they played well against the second half. Thought we played very well first half. And the best thing about Boreham Wood is that you go and play on the most beautiful pitch. It's a lovely, lovely surface, and definitely one that will suit us and suit our way of playing. And you just got to go and attack everyone, ain't you? I really don't see positions or where people are in the table in relation to the Oval. I just see there's 3 points there on offer. How quickly, how often can we take the 3 points that are available to us? That's all this bit of the season is. So it'll be a tough game. If they're on great form, then brilliant. If they're not, it's still a tough game. They all are. They really are. And people do raise their game to play us, 100%. And that becomes a question and a focus and motivation. And it's probably my job, that bit. So good luck, Dad.
Does it not give you an edge though? Because obviously, not only are you getting the 3 points, but you're also making ground up on a promotion rival.
It's 3 points. 3 points takes you a lot closer to your goals. A point takes you closer to your goals. 0 points takes you nowhere near closer to your goals. So look, you just got to try and grab as many points as you can, as often as you can. it's absolutely weird you just asked me that, because when I sat and had my beautifully manicured haircut that I've got right now today, I met a supporter in the hairdressers, and he actually asked me the same question, but he didn't need 4 years of studying to get to that point. That's called deflection, everyone. And but no, he asked the same thing, and it really is just about us and about Yeovil and about rediscovering that feeling, that wonderful moment we have at the end of the game with the supporters, and that's what winning looks like to me. That's what I love about the winning feeling. You know, that when that whistle goes on 90 minutes, that lovely glow and fuzzy feeling you get for winning the game. That's what this is all about for me in terms of the longevity and my time as manager here, is that I just want to repeat that as often and as and as over a longer spell as I can. When I speak to the owner about this, he's magnificent. We've had a brilliant season so far. Let's just carry on. And I don't think anyone said that any clearer or any more emotionally sound than the man at the top, which is great for someone who works for that individual, because there's a clarity to his thinking. I think that's a wonderful way of looking at it. We've had a wonderful year so far. Oh yeah, we have, haven't we? It's been good. We've had some great moments. You know, Solihull away, and even we got beat 1-0 at Barnet first game of the season. That's 600, 700 odd that came with us, and I had to go and shout out 2 or 3 of the fans for swearing at me, but there you go. That was quite good fun. That was probably the highlight of my day that afternoon. But it's been a good season so far. Now all we've got to do is try and recreate and revisit those moments as often as we can.
So about the fitness of your squad, Lee Collins was absent at Harrogate. What's the update with him?
Yeah, it was a big miss. When you go, away and you look at those, when you ask me what I've learned this year about some of these games in this league, and you go away and you go, north. I mean, really north on winter evenings and winter Saturdays, and you do need your strong men there. And I thought we missed Lee massively. He should be okay. He's trained. I think he trained from Saturday. I think before I let everyone go, he trained Saturday. He's trained all this week, so he should be fine. So, barring an absolute disaster in the next 2 days. But no, he's trained very well. It was nice to have him back. I think it's only Lawson and Goldie that are currently injured. Albie's got a little bit of a problem. Not sure if we can manage that or not, but we'll investigate into that. And when we look back on the season, and when we reflect on, it's people like Albie that are making the season as good as it has been so far, come out of nowhere. His improvement has just blown everyone away, and he's become a really, really important member of not only he was a squad player to start with. He's now become a really important member of the starting 11 at the moment. He's still got to improve in so many of his areas, but when we look back, we found this lad at Stratford playing 3 leagues below us, and he's become a main feature of a team that has an expectation of winning every week. So no, he's done brilliant. But he has got a little problem that we need to be careful with.
So along with that, you mentioned Lawson Diath as well. He's got long-term injury. Miles Hippolyte will be suspended.
Yeah.
Are you looking at any additions to the squad at all, in midfield or elsewhere?
No, of course we always are. Just we can't do anything at the minute. Our resources are done, and we can maybe act in a state of emergency. But there's two sides to this. As a manager, it's always nice to be able to bring someone in to provide a solution. Sometimes that person coming in really kickstarts or livens the dressing room and the characters up. But the other thing when you can't do it is you've got to really work hard with improving what you got and making them better and getting more out of them. Albie being a case in point, Matt Worthington, those young players like that. And you've got to really work hard with them. And the new boys that are coming on loan, Caleb and Brandon, they need time to embed themselves. And sometimes that's good. That's as good as signing someone in yourself, improving someone from within. It's like we hear all the time. It's like having a new player in your team. So no, that's part. But can we bring anyone in right here, right now? Ask Scott. I say yeah.
Well, we'll wait to see on that one then. Good luck on Saturday, Darren.
Thanks, mate.
Darren, the last question I asked you last week was just how important was it to play that game? You said it was desperately important to play it. We didn't play it, but has it enabled you to give the squad almost another pre-season kind of thing and run?
Yeah, I think. Look, if we'd have played the game on Saturday, the game would have been an absolute farce. There would have been no quality to it. There'd have been no. It'd have been we wouldn't have played against Chesterfield. We'd have played against that wind and the rain and the conditions. And who wants to watch that?
No.
I mean, the viewing public won't want to watch that spectacle, the ball going up in the air and getting blown back over the person who kicked it. I mean, it'd have been farcical. So, what it enabled us to do was come in Monday, have a stronger Monday, having not played Saturday, have a tough Tuesday is normally what happens everywhere in football. Tuesday's normally a tough day. And just carry on working with the group and spend a little bit more time without the game behind us, whether you win and you come in and think the world is now the most wonderful place in the world, or you lose and you're picking up characters and morale and ego and things like that. So it just allowed us to come in and work with probably a little bit more development focus, improvement focus in our training sessions, rather than picking up the pieces of a win or a loss and then working from there. So it's been quite an enjoyable week. It's probably the first week in a while where I've been able to coach consistently in the first 3 days that we've had. So it's been, from my point of view, I've heard my voice nearly every day, and I've probably had more touches of the ball than the players. So it's been bloody enjoyable. Yeah.
You're obviously playing well there. You mentioned about 3-5-2 diamonds and what have you. When you change the shape of a team midway through a game, which does happen from time to time, is it that difficult to implement the new shape at that point?
If they've never done it before, it is. I think the natural human being in us is, if we've not done anything before, straight away you open yourself to some sort of an excuse or criticism, which is why we work at things. Any time we've changed our shape during the game, we've done it because we've done it before in training, put it into game, and we don't really change our shape often. We probably played 2 or 3 different ways this year, which is not that much really when you think of all the games we've had. And you just work it. I think players are a lot more comfortable and a lot more adaptable when they've had some practice and rehearsal at it. And because of the game being off, and probably just had another couple of days of rehearsal of playing with that back three, which I think really suits us, or suits our defenders. And it's something we can use from now until the end of the season. Whether that's got to be in game with a change or to start with it, or however which way. But at least we're prepared. I like it because it gives us a chance to play with wide players for the first time. And it just means that you've got different people in different areas, and sometimes, lots of teams work really hard when they're playing against, the top sort of 4 or 5 teams in the league. They work really hard all week stopping what they believe is coming out the tunnel. That's what we all do. I did it as a manager at my last club. I haven't really had to do it here because of our position. But that's what you do. And sometimes having that ability to adapt and throw that scent is a big plus. So just practice, keep training, keep being nice and bright, and working very, very hard. And it's a very caring group. It's a very they do care about the outcome of the football club, and they do care about the outcome of its performance. So, and we've seen that with the way they keep themselves in games. Last Tuesday was probably the first time we really felt beaten. And fair play to Harrogate for creating that feeling. But to only feel like that sort of once this year, maybe the FA Cup game against Hartlepool would have been a second one. He's a pretty good measure of, you know, it's been a decent season so far. Let's just finish it off now.
Well, I hope you continue
Finish
to
them off.
play well, finish them off, as you say. Thanks, Darren.
Cheers.